I'll be honest, as a child, as a teenager, as a young adult, sometimes I judged others for things that I considered wrong. I mean, things that are wrong because I felt that I was so value oriented. Principles, where this check, check, check. So when I saw someone going outside my supposed or my supposed principles, I judged them. Now, I uploaded a video last week. If you haven't checked it out, it's a spoken word rendition on boundaries. And just funnily, after I had scheduled the video, I came across a video from one of my absolute favorites, Pastor Sarah Jessica Roberts, and she titled it Boundaries and Becoming. If you know her, you know that she's a realist. She's a minister, but also a realist. She says things that you can relate to. And one thing she mentioned was about being the other woman as a younger person. I mean, she wasn't going in search of men who were already in relationships, who were married, who were committed, But this man came to her and she never knew that they were with other people. And then sometimes she found out through snooping on their phones, And, and sometimes we tend to avoid asking questions to provide clarity or just to know this other person better because they come in form of angels. They come in form of totalities, like they're coming. They seem like persons that are coming to fill a void in our life, in our hearts, and you just see them as all in all. And what she would do is when she finds out that, oh, this guy is talking to another lady, she would pick up her phone, call, hang up, call, hang up, call, hang up, and then it goes on to she's calling, she's threatening them, she's calling them names. Some would, when some people say, you get dirty, I get dirtier, you go low, I go lower. Sometimes she would do that. Sometimes when she reached out to some women, they'll just say to her, it's fine, you can have him. And that made her think to herself, these women they don't give two hoots. He's a man. And if he's with me and also with you, it just goes to show that I'm sorry to say it. I was going to mention the name of an animal. Let's not do that. Why am I fighting this woman over a man? This man is clearly playing both of us. So why do I need to fight the other woman? That just got me thinking to myself. Sometimes we see these women that are in relationships with men we know and relationships with other people, and we judge from the outside without really getting to know the information. Not like we would pry, but why do we want to, is there a word called villainize? If there's no word like that, I'm going to say it. Why do we want to villainize the other woman when we really do not have the information? Even if we have the information and she knows that he's in a relationship and she's still there, would they change if all we do is castigate them? If all we do is call them names? How do you get such a woman to change? Why do we judge? And funnily, when I was in the shower and I was thinking about this, I just said to myself, if you see a man and you're in a relationship, or you're not even in a relationship, you see a man, I'm talking to the ladies here, you see a man and he's fine, he ticks the boxes, and then you find out that he's in a relationship. But you go home, you're fantasizing about this man, you're fantasizing, and yes, go all 7 yards about the fantasies. There's another lady who is perhaps dating the same guy, and they are doing the do, and you are fantasizing. Does your fantasizing make you better than the other lady who is dating him knowing that he's in a relationship? Or are you both on the same ship? Because the Bible even tells us that when it comes to sin, it's really not about you guys having to go the whole 9 yards. Sometimes even the fantasy and the love stuff, if I was with this person, do you know how I'm going to handle that? Do you know how I'm going to? Does it make you better that you are not physically doing stuff with the person, but you're fantasizing? Worse still, you're fantasizing when you're even in a relationship with another person, when you're in a relationship yourself. But does it even matter if you're in a relationship or not? As long as the other person is in a relationship. Hello? Help me here, guys. As I said, the video itself was about becoming and boundaries. And there was one thing there were a couple of things she mentioned, but one thing I remember that she mentioned was you don't have boundaries because you don't know what you're protecting. You don't know what you're protecting as a woman. You don't know the image you're trying to protect. So that's why you lack boundaries. So have we sat to think when we see a woman doing things that she's not supposed to do? Maybe she really doesn't know, or maybe she knows and she doesn't know how to go about it. So as a woman who doesn't know this woman, how do I help her? I'm just thinking out loud. It's so easy to judge, Goody two shoes. I've never done this before. Why would she do that? She's going to hellfire. I've also seen a lot of Christians. Sorry, I'm going to be diverting a bit. You want to win a soul to Christ, and then you just go condemnation. You're going to go to hellfire. You are stealing, my brother. You're going to hell. You're going to hellfire. Is that how the Bible really taught us to go about winning souls? Is that how the Bible taught us to go about salvation? When I watched that video, I just said to myself, girl, you're not all that. Because you have not done these things doesn't make you a better person. And you really need to stop. I don't judge. These days, I find myself being open-minded. Open-minded to the fact that, hey, what do you think? I want to hear. I want to listen to you. But it doesn't mean I agree, right? But I can't be all goody two shoes. God himself related with sinners, with unbelievers. So why am I sitting and I'm pointing fingers and calling people names? That's not what even God asked us to do. Another thing she mentioned, I won't be able to say it verbatim, exactly how she said it, was God is pulling you out of a situation because there's a better woman suited for that man. That one hit really deep. God is pulling you out of a relationship because there's a woman who is better suited for that man. You guys agree that you want to go your separate ways, or the man says, I don't want to do this anymore. You start to think, am I the problem here? What's going on? After I've given him my all, after yada, 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 yada. And God is saying, for this man, you're not the one who is going to get him there. Maybe he's still trying to groom you, and at that level you are in, you really cannot cause that change. And another woman who has gotten to that level, she's perfect for that man. So realize that when God is saying, come out of that relationship, maybe he's still molding you. Maybe he's still saying, okay, this is not where you're going to thrive. This is where you're shrinking. This is not where your glory is going to shine. This is not the man for you. This man is better suited for another woman. Oh yes, Kunle and Sarah don't go. The Bible is saying Kunle has to move on to Jessica. And you are Sarah. Sarah, there's absolutely nothing wrong with you. There is a man. There is a man that God has specially made for you. Maybe many women are not even sure about what they're building. And when you don't even know what you're building, you don't know what sort of boundaries you need to set to get you there. And maybe it's about coming out of a relationship. Maybe it's about coming out or leaving a certain job. So in that moment where God is calling you out of a relationship and saying, oh, I have a better woman suited for this. Maybe what you're building, that's not where you're going to thrive. God knows best. FAYDESSA, these are the things you have on the table. These are the things you want to achieve. Now, what boundaries do I need to set? What principles do I have? What things do I need to do to get me there? And if I fall by the wayside or by the waterside, do I have sisters who would say, darling, I've been there before. We all make mistakes. We all sin. I'm not going to judge you. We're right here to lift you up. We need to get to that level where, We're not seeing each other as competitors. We're not seeing each other as, I'm Miss Goody Two Shoes and you are all messed up. There's no way we're going to align. There's no way we're going to have a relationship. I'm good, you're bad. I'm good, you're evil. I have my life figured. You are just that. As I said, this may be a lot of but the video really got me thinking. And I think we can do better as human beings. And as believers, we can do better. One way to correct people is to correct them in love. Remember the story of the prodigal son? He went out. He left his father's house. God knows how deep he went into his sins. When he came home, the father stretched out his arms and said, "Welcome home, son." So even from afar, when you see that woman doing something wrong, pray for her. If you don't have a relationship with her, pray for her. Let's not judge. But let me know what you think, guys. When you see a woman doing something wrong, being in a relationship with a married man, how do you help her? Do you judge? Are you judging her? And I think the society has contributed to that. You mustn't do this, you mustn't do that, you mustn't do this, you mustn't do that. If you're not a virgin, you cannot get a man that will marry you. If you date a married man, your life is over. If you date a married man, you have no values, you have no principles. Because we don't do them doesn't make us better. Only God knows what you're doing behind your closet. God sees our hearts. He knows the thoughts of our hearts. He knows what you're thinking when you're looking at that man. He knows what you're thinking as a man when you're looking at a lady. So, I think I'm going to end it here, guys. Till I come your way again, remember to live love and be happy always. Be easy on yourself. No pressure. Make the mistakes, learn from them. It's your experience. It's your journey. You would live to tell your story. And I think it's more appreciated when your story is relatable. Let's not come up with the idea that we always need to be perfect, stand perfect. All of us have committed tons of sins, even till now, till this second. So give grace to others, even when you see that they're struggling. Give grace. I remain FAYDESSA. It is bye for now. Bye-bye.